Hi guys, welcome to IME webinars. I see today we have quite a lot of attendance, so feel free to ask if you have any questions. Okay. So today our topic is on electrical system design for industry machinery. I'm Sil, I'm the product manager for electricals, and today I'm going to walk you through the agenda. First of all, we shall cover about the typical electrical and mechanical design process. Of course, at the same time, we will address on the issue with the traditional process, which is the process that you're using now. And then I will give you a proposal how we can actually improve this process by introducing SolidWorks Electrical. Of course, I will cover the benefits of it, and if time allows, I will share with you about a 3 to 5 minute videos on how SolidWorks Electrical in actions, and at the end we have a summary and Q&A session. So any question that you have, you can always write it down, because at the end we will open up a 3 to 5 Q&A sessions. So all ready? So let's start. First of all, this is the traditional electrical and mechanical design process, where first of all we have the electrical schematic. I believe most of the company have both mechanical departments and electrical departments, and a lot of time these two departments are communicating very often with each other. So first of all, for the electrical schematic design, we have the typical 2D, which I believe most of you here are using this. Alright, and then the basic is schematics, and at the end, once you are done with the schematic design, you will generate the electrical bill of materials, and you document all the electrical information as a record, and move on. For the mechanical department, they will do the mechanical design, the layout, the mechanism, the package design, the dedicated areas that assigned to mechanical. So what next is the integrations. Now, what the mechanical did and what the electrical did, we will combine together, and we will do mostly because of the harness path, the cable wire length, and also other necessary integrations between the electricals and the mechanical department. And once this was done and both departments are okay with it, we will go for the final documentations, where we generate drawing, harness drawing, cut this table, and only we go for the manufacturing. So this is a very typical electrical and mechanical process, and up to date, I would say most of the company are practicing this method. So what's the issue that we are facing currently with this typical electrical system design? First of all, by using basic 2D CAD, it actually limiting our electrical design more productive. I believe most of us here using a basic 2D CAD software, and we just only able to use the features that offered by the 2D CAD software, where most of us will create block, right? We create blocks, symbol blocks, and save into the software, and we drag and drop, and we use the features that are available, like the sketching, the dimensioning, and also the basic features to draw the schematic. Yeah, so this information is one of, if there's any mistake, there's any changes, we need to redo it all over again. And then generating the BOM list, the table, the list, the bill of material, it will be another job, because all the information in our 2D sketching does not allow us to automatically generate the bill of materials. Okay? So the second issue that we are facing is that the electrical design reuse is very frequent, because, for example, if you are using this electrical system in this machine, maybe the similar system you use in another machine, just some minor changes. So the reuse is very frequent, and with the current method, we might need to redo again. Next thing is that the separate bill of materials for mechanicals and electricals, which limited on the cost estimations, because like I say, electrical department have their job, mechanical department have their task, so both is separated. And very frequent, you have the collaborations, and we do not have a proper bridge in between the electrical and mechanical. So at the end, you have this communications difficulty between this department. So let's say the electrical information you want to channel into your 3D design in mechanical. So who will do the 3D design job? And how the information channel over. So it's always an issue. And at the end, we have the inconsistent product manufacturing planning because of the design collaborations issue that we are facing. And we have the difficulty on coordinations between the system. I hope you all agree with me that this is some of the issues that you are facing currently in the traditional methods. So let's look into the SolidWorks proposal. So on top is the traditional process, and at the bottom is what we call the SolidWorks proposal. Now what you see here is that we try to bring the mechanicals and electricals get together, where you can see most of the documents, the integrations is doing concurrently when we are having a mechanical design. In other words, what we did in the electrical schematics, all the information that we have here can actually directly integrate into mechanical design. In other words, any changes that you did in electrical design, the information will update into your mechanical design immediately. So this is definitely a time-saving solution, and the best part about it is that it provides integrations. Okay, because as I understand, you all definitely know in the market there's quite a lot of electrical software as well, but not all of them provide integrations into the mechanical design. So SolidWorks Electrical do offer these benefits if you are a 3D user. Now introducing SolidWorks Electricals, and let's see how this product can actually help you in this machinery industry. First of all, okay, we have the SolidWorks Electricals, where you can see the diagram here is a 2D schematics for single, or it can be a single line diagram, or it can be a multi-line diagram. Okay, and then we have the electrical 3D. Now what I want to emphasize here is that when the electrical designer doing their schematic design, which is the one on the left over here, you can see this is an independent interface for the electrical designer to do the schematic design. So once the schematic is done, let's say in the early stage, all the information that you put into your schematics, it would duplicate similar informations into SolidWorks 3D, which means every single item or parts that you use in electrical 2D, it will link to SolidWorks 3D. So let's say if you use a circuit breaker in your schematic, the 3D circuit breaker will be available in SolidWorks library, and what you need to do is just drag and drop into your switchboard, which you can see in this diagram on the right, and then it will automatically do the wire harness, the wire layout, which is the line that you see here in green, in blue, in red, and it was done automatically. This is the bridge or the integration that I mentioned just now. So 3D is included in your 2D design data from SolidWorks electrical schematics in your 3D panels or entire machine model. So the key benefits, definitely you can design faster. We want to reduce the manufacturing defect and the scrap. We want to reduce the cost and of course the time to market. So let's talk about how we can achieve great design faster. First of all, it allows us to reduce existing design. Like I mentioned just now, okay, if you are using certain electrical diagrams of schematic that you did for project A, it might be usable for project B. Just some changes on adding in more components. So it allows us to do this form of integrations. It enables multi-user to work on a project and resource when needed, because SolidWorks Electrical support concurrent design. In other words, at the same time when you are doing the 2D electrical, the mechanical guy can also get the latest update of any changes that you did in the 2D. So we are talking about doing the design in a concurrent methods. Flexible schematic tools for fast electrical design are needed. Automation tool to streamline complex electrical design tasks. As I mentioned just now, okay, all the components is inside electrical. So what you need to do is just drag and drop and do a simple schematic layout. Just as simple as that. And of course, the product performance through refined design. Talking about reducing manufacturing defect and scrap. First of all, it provides a platform for you to coordinate the bill of materials, which in this case, we including the MCAD and the ECAD. So once all your electrical information channel into your mechanical design, you can have a more complete bill of materials. And in this case, for project engineer, you can have more control on the overall costing for the projects. And then you can plan exact cable and harness path. Like I said, the wire is automatically generated. So once you have the wiring in 3D, for sure, easily you can measure the wire length by automatically generate the wire harness table. So from here, it's easy for you to do a planning. And if it's a mass production, imagine every meter that you save is cost. Okay? And ensure electrical items will fit in 3D long before production. Well, it's funny that a customer told me that they have selected some components to use, and the issue is that the part is too big. When they fit into a switchboard, the switchboard cannot be closed. So with this, okay, all the components that we choose in 2D, it will reflect into our 3D design. And from there, we can use the available features in SolidWorks 3D. In this case, we call it collision detection, where we can detect interference, okay, between components in SolidWorks. And of course, when we have tight integrations, we can plan the entire product early before any part is made. Talking about reducing costs, we can avoid redesign costs by coordinating mechanicals and electrical groups. We can understand the full bill of material cost early using one single bill of material. So this is a good news for a project engineer, because I believe you are the one who in charge on managing the overall project cost. You need to liaise between the mechanical department and the electrical departments. And I believe by having these integrations, you can have full access and better visualizations on the overall bill of material costs. Ensuring MCAD and ECAD design changes are synchronized. Incomplete specifications of electrical details can be detected as well. And of course, we can prevent redesign costs through collaborations. Okay? And having integrations, of course, we can't run away of one of these benefits, which is improve the time to market. So imagine, like I keep saying just now, when we have the bridge between the electricals and mechanicals, we are talking concurrent design. Both is doing together. Okay? I'll do a quick one on this one. Now, let's talk about the capabilities. What is the unique selling point or the unique benefits that electrical can provide to you before we go into a video that we can see how powerful is the software. So first of all, simple and powerful user interface. SolidWorks Electrical 2D have its own unique interface, and he have sufficient features for you to pick up, easily to pick up, because we understand that most of you here are using 2D software, right? So the interface is actually allow a 3D user and easily migrate to SolidWorks interface. It was SQL database architecture, that's why it can communicate between 2D and 3D. Okay, we have a simple creation wizard. This is which is quite a lot of customer asking. And for example, if you have your blocks or your library in AutoCAD, it can actually, you can convert it into SolidWorks Electricals, okay, by using certain features we call the simple creation wizard, where it will migrate your library from AutoCAD to SolidWorks Electrical. And then of course, I would not want to miss out a very important point, is that the library is come along with 500,000 electrical components, and these electrical components is manufactured brand like Omron, ABB, Schneider, Siemens, all those famous brands you can find in our library, and it's up to 500,000 or 500,000 of electrical components. So the moment when you put in a symbol into your electrical 2D, at that stage you can already define which brand you want to use, which component codes is using, and this is how the project engineer can start doing their costing in the early stage. Okay, it's an ERP and EPDM integrations. So if let's say a company running on certain ERP system or PDM system, yes, it can actually integrate along as well. And it supports concurrent language. If let's say you are working with various countries, you're talking about different language, in this case, this is the tools that you can consider. Okay, I cover some of it. So let's talk about what kind of package that it offers. First of all, you can see there's two images here. There's a single line schematic and there's a multi-line schematic. So I believe this is what most of you are doing, okay, in your electrical design. So first of all, so let's say, hey Sil, I'm just looking into a replacement of my current method, which I'm using 2D CAD, and I'm not using any 3D CAD software. So let's say this is your concern. So you may consider to start with SolidWorks Electrical as an alternative of your current practice, which is using the 2D CAD software. First of all, it provides 2D schematic tool for electrical system design. It can generate 2D documentation, so in this case like drawing, bill of materials, wire leads, terminal strips, and so on. And if your team consists of a few electrical designers, and most often you're doing project together, it supports multi-user and also multi-project design capabilities. And over 500,000 manufactured components is in this 2D software already. And in the future, if you would like to expand into a electrical 3D, SolidWorks Electrical 2D gives you this flexibility because it has the real-time interactions with the 3D model. Again, Electrical 2D is a standalone product where you do not need any 3D to operate it. As long as you have the fundamentals of electrical design, you know how to use your current 2D software to do schematics. Well, this is one of the alternatives that you may consider for you to save time, because it provides a lot of integrations and automation way, especially on the 2D documentations, which most of the time we spend most of the time at this area. Talking about 3D, okay, electrical 3D, this is a plug-in into SolidWorks. So what it do is that it will leverage the 2D schematic design data from SolidWorks Electrical in the 3D model. So what happens is that after we install the electrical 3D into SolidWorks, so it will communicate with your electrical 2D. So let's say your schematic is completed. So all the informations will appear inside SolidWorks, where you can see on this bottom image here on the left. So this is all the components or the symbol that we define in our 2D schematics. When every time we add a new symbol, it will automatically appear in our electrical 3D. So as a mechanical designer, or even you want to learn electricals by yourself, you can just go here and drag and drop the 3D into your enclosure. I see there's a question there. I will answer the questions later on, okay? So also for electrical 3D, you can plan 3D wires through your machine design. So let's say if you have a motor located at certain distance from your enclosure, so you would like to calculate the path length. Yes, that can be done in electrical 3D as well. Okay. And of course, customer might ask, how about the 3D models? Where can I get the 3D model that I want? The good news is that for 3D, we support web link, where time to time you can just go to a website and download 3D models and link it back to your electrical. Just as simple as that. Okay, so that's two individual products in SolidWorks Electrical. This is a 2D and the 3D. If you combine both together, in simple, we just call it SolidWorks Electrical Professional. Okay, so I'm going to share 3 to 5 minutes on SolidWorks Electricals, and from here you will see how the software in action. So please enjoy the video. After the video, if you have any questions, you feel free to ask.
This is your first look at SolidWorks Electrical. For companies that design or manufacture equipment with electrical systems, using the right tools is critical. SolidWorks Electrical is powerful schematic design software that includes all the functionality required for electrical engineers to complete their projects. Users can easily work and collaborate on several electrical projects simultaneously, create comprehensive schematic diagrams, generate automatic reports and bills of materials, and even include manufacturing information or instructions. Innovative capabilities, such as the single-line schematic planning tool, can be used at any stage of the development process for panel and entire product design. With a large library of symbols, this tool allows designers to create simple yet powerful representations of the electrical wiring that are perfect for project management, production, and reporting. Electrical designers will also benefit from the extensive database of manufacturer parts, updated frequently and directly available within the software. They can easily search for and add the right motor, contactor, or any other electrical component. Using simple yet flexible tools, users can draw and define connections between the components, regardless of where they are in the design. In addition, even at this stage, cables and wires can be assigned. The cabling windows let users choose a cable from the cable repository and assign its conductors as connections between electrical components. It's also linked automatically to the traditional detailed multi-line diagrams, saving electrical engineers the trouble of wiring things twice and preventing errors or inconsistencies. The next step is to build the multi-line schematic diagram for the power and control circuits. Luckily, it couldn't be easier thanks to all the electrical drawing features and the comprehensive symbol library. But what really makes SolidWorks Electrical so unique is the ability to quickly copy or reuse existing designs, such as this motor starter circuit. Then you may choose to keep existing information from this circuit or associate the new circuit with components that are already defined. Cross-references are automatically updated, in addition to the manufacturing information, part tags, or wire numbers. The diagrams are accurate, up-to-date, and comply with industry standards. Terminal strips, commonly used in the industry to connect various equipment, are inserted and then wired with minimum effort. Complex tasks, such as documenting PLC inputs and outputs, can be done very easily, enabling you to tackle the development of any electrical system. You can also leverage existing work and copy and paste this existing part of the circuit to speed up the development. And at any time, you can also review the component properties, the manufacturer parts selected, and clearly identify the contacts that are connected. To avoid costly mistakes, contacts are also color-coded to indicate their availability on a part, if they're already assigned in the schematic or need a part circuit assigned to them. SolidWorks Electrical can also help you create a precise and scaled 2D cabinet layout and generate a number of reports. Bills of materials, wire and cable lists, from-to lists, or PLC input-output lists can be simply added to the project through the Report Manager. In no time, and with minimum input, electrical designers can have their projects ready for production. Some information, like cable and wire lengths, however, can't be calculated in a 2D environment. The same holds true for panel wiring optimization. Thankfully, with SolidWorks Electrical 3D, you can take your project one step further and give another dimension to your work. Embedded inside of SolidWorks, it lets mechanical engineers collaborate efficiently with the electrical design team and open the same projects directly within their familiar 3D CAD solution. It also gives them all the tools they need to properly integrate the electrical system inside the assembly, ensure segregation of power and signal, and provides full bidirectional and real-time linking between the 2D schematic and the 3D data. This way, users are always aware of the components that still need placing, and other changes, such as parts being deleted, will update automatically. More importantly, SolidWorks Electrical 3D includes many features that allow you to quickly insert multiple electrical components, ducts, or rails. You can also automatically and almost instantly wire your electrical panel, thus optimizing the wiring inside the control panel and the entire machine, ensuring everything will fit properly and accurately calculating wire lengths long before the final product is ever produced. SolidWorks Electrical Design products offer unparalleled opportunities for improving your productivity and enhancing the collaboration between the mechanical and electrical departments. This has been your first look at SolidWorks Electrical. To learn more, contact your local SolidWorks reseller or explore our website for more information.
Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the quick videos. I get some feedbacks because the audio doesn't match with the video speed. It's normal because of the internet connection here in Malaysia. So what we will do at the end is that in the thank you email, we will include the link. Okay, we will include the video link to show to you all so that you can watch the video later on again. So just a quick summary about this video. So first of all, you can see how we use the electrical 2D to do the schematic design, and the most fascinating part is that how we actually draw the components out, the symbol out for the schematics from the library. Okay, and you can see some of the library part is self-made and some is by default. Okay, and also about the question just now, I believe is asking about what types of default components that we have in the library. I would say there's quite a lot of manufacturers electrical parts in the library by default. So most of it is a famous brand. So if let's say other things like motors, okay, actuators, like these kind of things, we might need to create our own library. And if this is not a common brand, I have customers also that create symbols or parts, which is the general parts they put in, because in the early stage he haven't decided which brand to go for. So in this case, for the single line and the multi-line, he just put in a symbol, a general symbol for the motor, which you can see in this video as well. So at the end of the day, once you have the complete electrical design, the information can actually channel into the electrical 3D. Okay, where you have the machine design done, you have your enclosure well organized. So the next thing is just drag and drop to place the 3D components into your existing machines. From there, the software will automatically create the wire path, and you just can create the drawing like what we did in SolidWorks. Okay. So as a quick summary, 3 products, the 2D schematic, the electrical 3D, or if you combine both together, we have to call the electrical professionals. So the key capabilities are multi-user environments, which is something the 2D CAD software cannot do. a bi-directional, or we call the real-time sync between the 2D schematics and the 3D model. It enables one view of material for electricals and mechanical. Of course, one of the best things I like the most is it can automatically generate 3D wires, cable, and harness design. So that's the best thing about SolidWorks Electrical, the bridge between the electrical departments and the mechanical departments. So with this is end my sharing today. We have about 2 to 3 minutes left and open up for Q&A session. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to key in your dashboard on the right. So there's a chatting. You can put your question here and ask question that you would like to know. Form of training. So there's a 2 question here. First of all, what are the 500,000 components in library? Is it including relay, SCB, MCCB, as well as like digital meter, like power meter? I'll answer yes. Most of the component that you mentioned is here. For digital meter and power meter, this one I will need to check again. But it's just a small problem because if let's say it's still not available in the default library, you can always just download a standard meter design and modify it as your custom library. So the second question I get is any form of training. Yeah, we have training. In fact, we do provide something we call the hands-on test drive. Hands-on test drive means we will offer a half-day hands-on training for free for user like you to explore this product. So after this, my marketing side will contact you all again, and at the end we also have a survey form. So just make sure you key in the survey form and we will contact you once we have any training ongoing. So it's a symbols Japanese standards. The symbol is based on brand. Okay, the symbol is based on brand. So it's the brand is a Japanese brand. Definitely going to follow the Japanese standard. For example, it is Omron. So it will follow Omron's symbols. Any more questions? You feel free to ask. The first question, the 4th question is thank you. Yeah, welcome. So any more questions, guys? So this sharing is just meant as an introduction of SolidWorks Electricals, and so that you have an idea how special is this product to bridge between the electricals and the mechanical. So as a follow-up, my marketing team will contact you all again. Price. A very good question. Sorry that I can't answer this question at this moment on the pricing. After we understand what kind of package that you need, we can talk about this later. Or I will say we will talk about the pricing privately, okay? Where I will get my marketing or sales team to contact you so that we understand more about your needs, and then we can recommend the right products to you. So follow-up, what we're going to have after this webinar is that first of all, we will have we call the seminar where we can help based on area. So we can just come and do a seminar and we can do some live demonstration to you. We will also offer a free half-day training where you can come and attend and self-explore how this product can help you. Of course, if time is a constraint, you can always visit to your company or your house or your hostel and to do a demonstration so that you have more understanding about the products. If there's no further questions, I will call an end for today's sharing. Again, guys, thank you very much and your participation by asking a lot of positive questions to understand more about the product. So with this, I'll hand back the session to Ryan for our closing, and he will guide you through how to do a survey. So with this, thank you very much, and I'll pass back the session to Ryan.